Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Erin Payton, and I am the Executive Director of the 19th Century Charitable Association, which is located in Oak Park, Illinois. Our mission is strengthening our community through learning, giving, and the sharing of our landmark building. Today is our final music program for our Monday engagement series. And I just want to thank our sponsors for this whole series for the music program: Convoy's Westchester Funeral Home, Oak Park River Forest Community Foundation, and the Lyric Opera of Chicago Chapters Community. We are so grateful for all of your support this whole season, and we hope you've enjoyed all these music programs. We got one more for you. Before we get started, I just wanted to let you know that if something sparks your comment, we won't be able to do questions probably this time. Go ahead and put it in, and I will verbalize it to the performers today. You can do that in the chat or the Q&A. And now, without further ado, we are going to welcome Diane Moses, our program director.
The Heartland Marimba Ensemble has been performing since 2015. This music spans many styles, including classical arrangements, jazz, tango, ragtime, American pops, holiday favorites, and circus. Something for everyone. Matthew Coley is an internationally acclaimed performer and the founding executive artistic director. Matthew has performed in over 35 U.S. states, 10 countries, and is a soloist with ensembles throughout the U.S. and abroad. Let's give them a very warm welcome.
everybody. Thanks for watching. Thank you to Diane and the 19th Century Club for having us, and Aaron as well for the fantastic introduction. So we're really happy to be here. It's been a long time coming to have a live concert or a hybrid live concert, and also it's great that we are able to make this work with your organization. So thank you so much. The first two pieces, my name is Matthew Coley, I should start with that. The first two pieces that we played Divertimento for three marimbas by Takayoshi Yoshioka, and we played the samba movement of that. So in the marimba world, it's a fairly well-known piece, but hopefully you enjoyed that piece. And the players on that ensemble in the first piece with me were Ari Isomura and Matt Silverberg. And then we went straight into a piece called Drive by Mike Newmeyer. And playing with me on that were Hannah Weaver and Ryan Pearson. And so you'll get to meet them in a little bit. Again, my name is Matthew Coley. I am the director of Heartland Marimba. This is the Heartland Marimba Ensemble. I am based in Waterloo, Iowa, so not too far from here. And we're going to continue the show with a quartet. So the Heartland Marimba organization does a lot of different things. We have the Heartland Marimba Ensemble. We have the Heartland Marimba Quartet. We also publish music, and we do festivals and lots of online content now as well, of course. And you can find us all over the internet, heartlandmarimba.com. But we published several pieces. We published Drive, which is the second piece that we performed. And we're about to perform for you a piece called Atmospheres by Beth Mahochik, who is an instructor of music for dance at the University of Las Vegas, Nevada. And by our research, this next piece, Atmospheres, is the very first marimba quartet written by a female composer. And I believe it's in 1985 that this piece was composed. So you can see that we have a young history of music for this ensemble, which I'll tell you a bit more later. And here we go with Beth Mahochik's Atmospheres.
titled Ode to a Circus Rat, written by Keegan Fountain. Keegan is one of our Heartland Marimba composers. He's written several works that we performed as a group. This particular work, I believe he wrote when he was 19 years old, so very precocious. It's definitely an earworm. You'll hear a melody return over and over that I promise will be stuck in your head for the rest of the day. It's been stuck in our head all weekend over this road trip. You'll also notice we're going to be utilizing a different instrument for this piece as well. This is the aquarium. So while our other instruments are made of wood, the marimba, or metal, the vibraphone, this is made of glass. And Matthew actually worked with several people to create this, to mimic the same setup and arrangement of the keys on a marimba, but with a very unique sound. So we hope you enjoy Keegan Fountain's Ode to a Circus Rat. I am from St. Paul, Minnesota, and I want to introduce the next piece to you. Okay, so the piece is called Hilltop, and it is originally a piece that's written by Chick Corea, who unfortunately passed away earlier this year, and I respect him so much, and so I hope this is kind of an homage. And the piece is part of
the record My Spanish Heart from 1976. And that's, yeah, so the Hilltop track, that one is Chick Corea on piano and Stanley Clark on the bass. So it's just a duet, but I took that and arranged it for this ensemble of 2 marimba players and vibraphone and percussion. So I hope you enjoy Hilltop.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ryan Pearson. This is actually my first year in Heartland Marimba, and I'm very, very excited to be here and be playing with all these wonderful musicians. The next piece that we're going to play for you is the third movement of Dr. Gregory Jackson's Marimba Quartet Number 1. Dr. Jackson is a multifaceted artist who specializes in composition, conducting, and percussion. As a composer, Jackson has written over 100 compositions for various instrumentation, including marimba quartet, percussion solos, and even full orchestra pieces. This particular piece and movement is, of course, for marimba quartet, and it is filled with blistering runs of notes that go up and down the keyboards and in between all four marimba parts. This piece is fast and fun, and we're very excited to play for you, and we hope you enjoy.
Hi everyone, my name is Matt Silverberg and I'm also from St. Paul, Minnesota. And the next piece we're going to play is called The World in Your Hands by Robert Sandrell. Robert Sandrell currently teaches at Radford University in Virginia. And this piece is a trio that will feature Ari, Matthew, and myself. And it'll feature some instruments that we haven't yet heard on the program, like the crotales and the glockenspiel, those metallic cymbal-looking things back there. And this piece is a little bit of a marimba feature over here, and it features some really cool sounds and really cool harmonies, and I think you'll really enjoy this piece. So this is The World in Your Hands by Robert Sandrell.
Hello again, everyone. Thank you for watching today. We may go a little long. We were trying to keep things tight for you, but hopefully it's okay if we play some more music for you. So we have a couple more pieces for you, and this next piece is called "The Magical Octopus Rolled Her Venomous Eye," and it's from a piece suite of movements called "The Strange Animals." And so this is composed by David Colson, and he's a composer at Western Michigan University. And while we're still getting set up, I just want to give you kind of a little quick crash course in marimba history. So all of the large wooden instruments you see here are called marimbas, and the instrument dates back a couple thousand years to Africa, and then eventually it made its way through the slave trading industry in about 500 years ago to Central America. And then from there, it made its way to America about 100 years ago. And that's where we start to see the instruments become built for the classical music world. And the tuning is more in line with what we need for classical music and the sound. So all of the wood on top is made from rosewood, which comes from Central America. It's a very precious wood and endangered. The tubes under the bottom are called resonators. They are tuned to the same pitch that each bar is tuned to. So this B flat here also has a tube under it that's tuned to B flat. And that's how you get the big, mellow, robust sound from the bars. The instrument has a very young history in classical music. All the music that we're playing goes back, most of it, like within the last 5 years. Some of it, of course, like Beth's piece, Atmospheres, goes back to the 80s. And then you got to hear a vibraphone, a glockenspiel, a crotales, and the aquarium, the glass marimba. And they're all part of the percussion family. We're all percussionists, and we train as percussionists and specialize in marimba. And we travel with the trailer. Every marimba goes into 8 different cases. So we have about 37 cases that we're traveling with, and it all goes into a trailer. So Heartland Marimba is busy throughout the year touring. You can see we have fabulous artists that we work with. Ari is from Minneapolis. Ryan lives in Lawrence, Kansas. Hannah lives in Omaha. Matt lives in Minneapolis. I live in Iowa. So our artists are all over the United States. So I want to thank you again for joining us. We're going to play David Colson's Magical Octopus, and then we'll have one more piece by Mendelssohn, a Prelude and Fugue #1 by Mendelssohn. And then that will conclude our program. And then I think we have a little interview that we'll do. So thank you. This is our final piece by Felix Mendelssohn. It's a new arrangement by Ryan Elbert, and the Heartland Marimba organization is working on adapting all 6 of Mendelssohn's preludes and fugues for different combinations of marimbas. So keep an ear out for more of those. The Heartland Marimba Quartet just played the famous fugue Tornado, kind of by Mendelssohn's number 5 in F minor for a concert with the Dubuque Symphony. So you can find us online at heartlandmarimba.com. And we want to thank you again and thank the 19th Century Club for having us. So this is Prelude number 1 by Felix Mendelssohn. And Fugue number 1 by Felix Mendelssohn.
Bravo, bravi, fantastic. That was absolutely wonderful and so different for many people. Fantastic. I'm sure everybody's applauding. We were applauding. I have a question for each of you. Matthew, there are 2 Matthews. Matthew, the leader Matthew, what is the favorite country where you have performed?
Let's see. I would have to say, well, there's so many fabulous places in the U.S. that I've gotten to perform. I mean, you know, venues like this really are wonderful matches with the marimba and beautiful settings. And I've got to perform at some great venues in San Diego, right on the water, where you can see the water in the background. But as far as another country, I would say Denmark. I've done some performing in Denmark, and you know, all the European countries just have a real interest in the arts and culture, and there's a special vibe there, which is great, and also just the history of it around you, which I love.
Okay, thank you. Ari, what type of music do you prefer to perform?
I like all sorts of music, so I would say as long as I am playing music with my friends, that's the kind of music that I like.
Okay, thank you. Ryan. What is the favorite venue where you have performed?
My favorite venue that I've played is, of course, dear to my heart because I've been living in Kansas City, and the Kansas City, I can't even think of the name now, but the Kaufman Performing Arts Center, there it is, sorry, lots of notes. Kaufman Performing Arts Center in Kansas City is just a beautiful hall, and I love performing there. Yeah, that would be it.
Thank you. Matt. Now, I must confess that I didn't realize that you played all kinds of different instruments. So, Matt, how did you become interested in doing this?
Well, my mom gave me piano lessons when I was growing up, and that didn't work well for her. So when I was in middle school, I played trumpet, and that didn't work well for me because my band director never taught us how to actually read music. So that made sense. So then in high school, I wanted to stay in band. So I decided drums are easy. I can just play the bass drum and go bang, bang, bang. And now, however many years later, this is where I am.
Thank you. Hannah, what would you say to a young musician about performing on these instruments?
Oh gosh. Well, I think the best advice that I could give a young musician beginning on these is to think of it as their own and really make sure that their personality is coming out in the instrument. I think because a lot of what we do is very physical, and many of us may have started on drums, like Matt just said. Sometimes the musicianship and the lyricism that's capable on these instruments doesn't come out intuitively. So I would love for beginning students to make sure that whatever they're playing, whether it's pitched instruments like this or non-pitched like drums,
Okay.
to be thinking like musicians.
Thank you very much. It was really, really wonderful. Congratulations. Keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so I said I didn't have any questions from the audience, but I lied because these are two really good ones. So Matthew, do you want to be the spokesperson?
Sure.
Okay, first of all, I'm just going to tell you that Ruth Foley says, hooray, 21st century music at the 19th. The Chick Corea piece was brilliant. But I've got two great questions. One is, and you're going to have to treat us like we're kindergartners here, okay? Because Joyce is asking it, but I was wondering the same thing. She wants to know, what is the difference between a marimba and a xylophone?
Okay, yes. And I meant to put this in my my Marimba 101 briefing.
Thank you. This is 102.
Yeah, this is class 102, yes. So yeah, we usually tour also, this group kind of typically also tours with the xylophone. And a little bit later this month, we'll be utilizing it for some things. But a xylophone is also made of the same wood, the xylophone keys. So I said this is rosewood. It's a hardwood from Central America, Belize in particular. And the xylophone has the same kind of wood. But the tuning is a little different, the way they tune the bars to sound like a characteristic xylophone is different than the marimba. So the marimba has that mellow and like big, powerful, robust sound, while the xylophone has a different character of more of a crisp sound and a sharper sound, and depending on the mallets too. And this is also part of class 102. The mallets that we use are all different in the core and the wrap and the yarn and weight and the feel and the hardness. So along with the artist's facility and the mallet and the instrument, we make the music. But yeah, the xylophone is typically used in the orchestra, and you use harder mallets, and it sounds brighter and it's smaller.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so this question is from my favorite member at the 19th century, anonymous attendee. And the question is, are there challenges in polishing a piece for performance when you all live in different states? Which I thought was a great question.
Yes, that's a very intuitive question. Yes, there are lots of challenges because we can't meet all the time and we can't rehearse over Zoom. It's just not possible. So we have to understand as professionals that we have to have everything learned as much as we can with the music on the page when we arrive to our rehearsal periods that we plan. And usually we plan about, when it's luxurious, we get 2 or 3 days before we go on the road. With this group, it's been a little different. I've driven to Omaha to rehearse with some of them, and I've driven to the Twin Cities, and they've come to me. So we've been like piecing it together through very strategic planning. But yeah, so it's a lot of planning in advance, and then really just professional preparation. So we're ready. We can just talk about music in the rehearsals and not talk about like, basic stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are just incredible. To know that you're in however many different states, very impressed. And those of us who are here, I know are really getting into it. So thank you guys so much for being here and traveling as far as you did at the tail end of, hopefully, of the pandemic. So thank you very much. For everyone out there, we have one more Monday program next week. It's a literature program. So if you're interested, you can go to our website at www.19thcentury.org to register. And if you want to help us keep putting on these amazing programs, you can donate on our website. Right there, there's a big old donate today button, and it's at www.19thcentury.org. Well, thank you so much for being with us today and this full season, and we'll see you next week. Have a great day. Bye.